My name is Denisse Garcia. I am at Daniel Ramirez Elementary this year as a CLL. This is my first year not being a teacher. I was a teacher for 5 years with Read and Mock, and I'm on to something new this year, and I'm excited. So I want to share everything that I've learned in my 5 years, more so what I used more last year with my lessons. I was a fourth grade teacher with Nearpod. So let's get started again. If you did not remote check-in, please do so. It is Tech 23. They did put it in the comments. So you can go ahead and check in because you will qualify for door prizes if you check in. And just a reminder that if you check in once, that's it. You don't got to do it again. Every single session, it's just one time and you're good to go. All right, so this lesson or this presentation is called Gradual Release in the Classroom using Nearpod. So we're going to focus a little bit on Nearpod and how we can use it to follow our lesson cycle. Now, it's been a while, right? What is the gradual release? So I'm just going to give you a summary of what it is really quickly. I know some of us have probably been in the education field for a long time and we know what the gradual release. So just a little refresher. The gradual release is a 4-step lesson cycle. It starts with the I do, where the teacher models, and then we do, teacher and students try an example together. Then they work with other peers together, and then you do, where the student works independently. This allows for the teacher to not be the only one talking in the room. And we have students that are collaborating with the teacher and then with peers and then alone to showcase what they have learned. Now, what is Nearpod? So Nearpod is a place where you can create interactive lesson presentations. Now, it's very, very similar to Google Slides, to PowerPoint. However, the good thing about Nearpod is that they have interactive presentations. So they have quizzes that you can do within the presentation, polls, videos, collaborate boards. They have VR. They have so much too that you can use in your presentations. Now, some of it is great because it's already pre-made lessons, or you can create your own. Now, in this session that we're doing, we're kind of going towards the create your own, using what the district has given us or what we decide to teach in our lesson cycle. If I'm going too fast, please let me know. Now, we do have to plan a day lesson for this to follow through, for it to be okay. So what I usually do is I get a pen and paper and I look at my curriculum and I look at what is it that I'm going to do. So for example, here I'm giving you an example of main idea. Let's say for that day, for my reading block, I'm doing main idea. I have to plan what is it that I'm going to do, what is it that we're going to do with students, what are they going to do in groups, and what are they going to do alone, kind of as their informal assessment. So if you plan it out like that, you're able to make it easier for you on Nearpod. It's not something that you can wing. It really isn't. It is something that you have to plan. Okay, so for this one that I'm doing something very simple. I'm starting with an anchor chart of main idea. This is where the teacher is in control. Teacher is going over an anchor chart. Students are basically just copying at this point. Then we go on to the we do. So as a group, as a class, we read a section and we complete the main idea organizer together. This is where you do a think aloud. How do you get the main idea? What strategies do we do? What do we circle? What are we looking for? That way, when they get to the they do, the students are able to use a different section of that same story and complete it on their own using what you taught them in the we do with other students, where you can give roles and they're able to showcase their learning together, right? Learn from each other. And then when that's done, they go to the you do. And this could be a variety of things. It's like an informal assessment, so they know what it is that they are learning, right? So we give a different section, or you can give an entirely new passage that can relate to what you were learning and completing the main idea alone. So this is like the lesson cycle of what it would look like throughout a day reading block. for main idea. Now the trick here for Nearpod and for it to work well is that you have to snip things or add as pictures or backgrounds for the activities. Now Nearpod has a lot of stuff that's already done, but if you're wanting to introduce what the district gave you or something that you got on Teachers Pay Teachers, you have to snip it, which is screenshot it, which on the Microsoft it's called snip. You take a picture of it to add it to your Nearpod because you're having to transfer it from one platform to another platform. So it's not that hard, but it does require planning. So what I used to do is I used to have folders for each story of the week that I would do, and I would do the screenshots of what the district would give me and things I would find, and I would put them in folders. So they were already ready for me to use when I went into Nearpod. Because if you don't have the pictures ready of what you're doing, then you're not able to add it into Nearpod, or it's just going to take a little longer and more confusion because you're going back and forth. So for example, if you have a vocabulary organizer that you want to show on the Nearpod, or you want the students to work on using the writing tool, then you have to screenshot that graphic organizer and then you put it on to the Nearpod, which I'll show you that in a bit how it looks. But yes, keep in mind that you do have to screenshot whatever you're using, plus pre-plan, because you have to know what is it that you're screenshotting and what is it that you're using. So now we're going to go ahead and dive in. Now we're going to start off with me showing you an example of how the gradual release can look in a presentation that's already completed. And then we're going to go through each one, and then I'm going to show you how to start it off. And then hopefully we can get through one, if not at least starting off to creating and using Nearpod to create the slides. So technically what we're doing is creating a slideshow pretty much on Nearpod and using what they give you plus adding stuff on there. So go ahead and log in, and I'm actually going to give you a link that's going to allow you to preview a lesson that's already been completed. And you do have to log in using your PSJA Google account. So let me go ahead and give you that link to that. Give me a second. Okay, let me put this in the chat. There we go, and hopefully it works. It should lead you to, not this one. Let me see. Oh, it didn't even give you the thing. Oh my goodness, let me log in. Well, that link doesn't work. It's this one right here. I thought it would work. Let's see. Try that link. It should give you the preview for it. Is it just giving you a PDF?
It works.
Oh, it does? It gives you the whole entire like lesson?
I can see the, let me see, wait.
If not, we can do a live participation. That would be.
I can see the Newsela
That's
article.
it. No, I want the whole like lesson to be there. So let's just log in and let's join a class. So go ahead and go to Nearpod and join a class, or you can go to join.nearpod.com and then go ahead and put in that, there we go, that code. All right. Let me know if you can see. So I'm waiting for you all are going to be students to my lesson. That way you're able to see it as a student would. I'm trying to see how I could delete these. Okay, I have somebody in. Carlos Garcia, thank you. Okay, I have more people, yay. Laura Vallandares, sorry. Amanda, Ophelia, Amy. I'm gonna give it a few seconds here and then we'll get started. I have the link in the chat for you to go in, or you can go in through join.nearpod.com, and the code is at the very top. Let me make it big. There we go. 3x6z8. All right, can I continue or do we need a couple more minutes? I know we're missing some people to go in. All right, I'm gonna get started. I don't want to waste too much of your time. Perfect. Okay, so you can still go in even if it's late, it doesn't matter. You have the code at the top and the link as well for you to use. Okay, so to start off, this is the article that I'm basing like the main idea lesson cycle. This was from the district. This was from the curriculum. It was a PDF version, so all I did was put it into Nearpod. They have a way for you to just to upload a PDF and it'll open in the students' laptops. So you just click the PDF viewer and it opens up in another tab and the kids are able to access the article online. I would also do it on paper because I think getting used to just technology on its own, it's a little hard. So I would do double. It would be on technology and on paper sometimes. It just depended on the lesson and how the students reacted to it. Because some kids would, they change tabs and stuff. So having the actual article on paper was a lot better, but I still added it on here for them to have access to when they went into groups. So we read the story. That's what we would do then. And then this is your media piece, right? That you start off your lesson with, right? So it could be that the teacher plays it or the student plays it. And you can select videos from YouTube, videos that they already have there, and you can cut them to what you want. Because I know some videos are super long, and you can cut them to make them shorter. So this one, it would be the teacher plays it. So on your device, you would not be able to see that like the whole video. It's only on the teacher's computer, which is the one that's being presented on the screen if you were in a classroom. And then so since it is a story about ecosystems, I found a short film that shows different kinds of environments. Again, it is pre-planning, you having to go in and find a video that you like to add to your lesson, right? So you can kind of get the students hooked on what it is that you're going to learn. You can also add questions mid video, like what is it, what kind of ecosystem do you think this is? So what did you see in this 20-second part? So you can add videos, questions on here as well. This would be like your media piece. And the district already has a lot of media pieces that you can use. And then you would just need to, if it's like a poem, you would just snip it and put it in. If it's a video, you would just get the link and add it on here. So you can look for some on your own and make it your own, or you can use what's already been given to you and add it on here. Now, after that, we did a think, pair, share, which is a SIF strategy of collaborative grouping and classroom talk. So we go ahead and we discuss the video and discuss what we've read and put it together. So this is just a quick discussion to get the students talking about what it is that we just saw. And notice how it paces my lesson. This is what I loved about Nearpod, that I was able to use all like the new technology videos, drag and drop and everything in one place where I don't have to be pulling from here and there as I'm presenting. And it allows me to pace myself. Because for me, se me olvidan las cosas. Like really, I'm like, ¿qué iba a hacer? Like I have all these copies and I'm like, what was I going to do first? What was I going to do next? But with Nearpod, I'm like, it's all there. It does require the pre-planning, but it's totally, totally worth it. And you can do this in a week's worth. So you can do a Monday, a Tuesday, a Wednesday, or you can do it a daily thing where you're working on it. And once you have it for a year, or like that year, the next year you're teaching the same grade level, you're kind of just upping it and making it better. What I did on the campus that I was at, we had 2 reading teachers, so we would split the work. So it was 1 week I would do the Nearpod for the week, and then the next week she would. So it allowed us to kind of learn from each other, and we're like, hey, look, we can do this, we can do that. So it was great. So this is a Tuesday, so we would review our vocabulary words. And this is where we used the drag and drop, and actually on yours, you can actually play with it. Now, this is what I mean by they are snippets, they are pictures. You have to have pictures of the background for this part, not to be able to move. So I just made this on a Word or a PowerPoint slide, just me doing the table. And then I screenshotted it, I snipped it, and I added it as a background. Now I know we have Diana Ramirez, we have her vocabulary graphic organizers, and those also worked. I've used those before. I just snipped it from the district, and then I added the words on this side, or we did it where it's fillable. So it depends what you're looking for. I know I've seen some stuff on Teachers Pay Teachers that I like to use. So I just screenshot it and I'm able to use it here on Nearpod, and it's all in one place. These little things on the side, I also did screenshots. So they go there and then you just move it around. The little screenshots, I just screenshotted it. And then we have our objective. Now, what I loved about Nearpod, the objective is I was able to do it interactive with the kids, so they're able to remember their objective, and it's just a fill in the blank. You can't see it on my end. Oh, here we go. I can't see it on my end, but you guys can on your screen, where you drag and drop to fill in the objective, and we would do it together as a class. That way we're able to see what is it that we're learning today, right? We're entering that lesson with an objective in mind, with an end in mind. And this one is super simple to create on Nearpod. You just type it, your objective, and then it allows you to select the words you want to be drag and droppable. So you just click, 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 done. And it's super simple, but yet it's super effective for the kids to know what it is that they're learning. You can play with it a little bit. So again, we're doing that lesson cycle. We're starting from the beginning and continuing on. And this is where we start the gradual release. So now this one is a slide that just says I do. So each time I would transfer to a different one. So I do, we do, they do, you do, I have a title slide. And these title slides, they were literally the same each week. I would just change the background depending on the story. So if it was about dinosaurs, I would just change the background. And I would copy and paste it into a new Nearpod. That way I'm not doing it over and over and over again. We're copying and we're pasting it, and it allows for us to have more time for the planning. So this is your I do, which the teacher would do. And it was an anchor chart of the main idea. And what I did is I did this on paper with them because I wanted them to have it in their journal for it to stick, the anchor chart. But I did put a snippet of it completed on Nearpod just because I wanted myself to know, oh, that's the anchor chart that I'm using, because it helps me teach. It really does. And it helps the kids as well to be able to see it on the board, but we're doing it on hand. So it's a combination of both. You could do it entirely online where they fill it out online. But the thing with that one is that it doesn't necessarily save for them to see it again. So if something like you're introducing main idea and it's the first time that you're doing this anchor chart, I would not recommend for you to give the full control to doing it on Nearpod. It would be more so on paper. And so then it's just adding it on here, just a picture, so that I know what it is that I'm doing next, or what is it that I'm doing for the I do. And then we do, again, it's the same every week. I just changed the background. And I found those little pictures and everything on Nearpod. So, and I'll show you at the end how we can create one together. Now this one, I did do it on their tablets, on their Chromebooks. And I purchased the little pens from Amazon. They come in like a big pack of I think 20, 25. It's not that expensive. And they would write with it. And then some were like, no puedo escribir con eso. And they would use the text, which is perfectly fine. And this one, we did it together. It's a section on the coral reefs. And then we underlined words that are repetitive, and we found our main idea and details for it. And it's the same graphic organizer that's in my anchor chart. And the same thing, I just snipped this. And can you still see my presentation? Yes. Something moved. Okay. You can still use this and just snip it, and you add it on here. So it's a background. That's the only, I would say, downside, because it requires lots of planning in your part and having to screenshot. But like I said, the results are worth it because it allowed me to be able to teach fluently. And you're able to see what each student is typing and how they're doing. So you could see, oh, right, you're not typing, you're not working, why are you not copying what I'm copying? And I would do it as well with them, filling it out here. Again, could be done on paper, but you're showing it up on the Nearpod so that you know what your next step is. And then you do together, this would be the group work. And the article that was given, it had a lot of different ecosystems. So I was able to give each group a different section, and they would find the main idea for it in partners or groups, whatever you want to put them in. And this one was on paper, but I used my Nearpod to show what is it that I'm going to be doing. So in case admin were to walk in, I'm still using technology. It's still on Nearpod, but we're still doing it on paper. And this is also SIF because we're doing collaborative group work. So it touches everything, and you're able to have it all in one place. And then the you do alone. In this case, we did a gallery walk where they went around and looked at their main ideas, and the sticky notes, they were able to interpret what the main idea was. And that was their they do alone. And then we close our learning, and then I love these little GIFs that they have on Nearpod. So you're able to put little funny things and the kids love it. And the same objective that I used at the beginning, I copied it and I pasted it on a new slide. And then it was the same one and we connected it back to the beginning. And then each week, it was the same slide. All I would change was the middle part, which is the goal, the objective. But everything, the GIF was the same, the title slide was the same. It's just you change it. So it's, as you start working on it, it becomes easier because you're pretty much using each week the same like skeleton of it. Is that how you say it? The skeleton of it, the basis of it, and then you fix it up for whatever skill you're learning that week. And then this is Wednesday. And you can add to the Nearpod. You can create a whole different Nearpod slide. I would just always add to it or do it like for Monday through Wednesday, like I said, and it gets me 3 days out of the way. And this way, let's say it always happens, right? That algo pasa and you're never able to get through and finish, right? Something happened, a fire drill or something. If you have it on Nearpod, you know exactly where you stopped and you continue off the next day. Instead of saying, ay, ya no lo hice, oh, pues ya que, like I have to move on to Wednesday. In Nearpod, you're able to continue that step because you have it all in a slide. And this was the media piece for this day. It was a poem. Again, I just snipped it and I put it on here and added some questions. Reviewing vocabulary words again for the week. It's the same one from the day before. And I just copied and pasted for Wednesdays. So once I did it once, ya no tenía que hacerlo otra vez. Objective, this was a new one because it was a new skill. But very, very easy. I just typed it and selected the ones. I copied it, made sure I put it on my last slide that closes the lesson. That way it's the same objective on both ends. So I'm just copying and pasting for the last slide of that day. And then it's the same one, the I do, right? So copy, paste again. It's the same exact one. And then in this one, I started with an anchor chart as well. They had it on paper, so it's the same, kind of the same thing. The anchor chart on paper, we did it together. This was supposed to be the end result of that anchor chart. And the anchor chart this one that I have has it like white out, so they're able to fill it in. And then we do together as a class, we did a Venn diagram. We compared and contrasted two different ecosystems, coral reefs and freshwaters. And again, all I did was I did it on a Word document and I screenshotted it all together. And I put it on here as a background so they're able to write on it. That's the only tricky part for this is just pre-planning it to screenshot it. And then this is when you start doing your Nearpod and you start doing your lessons and then you realize you missed something. So for here, when I was doing main idea, I remember the kids were having a very hard time putting it into a sentence. Like, okay, you did all this work. What's the main idea? Y veían el papel and they'd be like, I don't know, like what, I did all of this, but like, I don't know what the main idea is. So I went back, I remember, and I fixed Wednesdays. And I said, okay, we did the compare and contrast. Now, can you put it into a sentence? Can you articulate everything that you did? So then I added a collaborative board where everybody posts and you could see what everybody is writing. And the kids that weren't able to put it into a sentence, they were able to look at, which is like you copy, right? But they're copying and they're learning from what others are writing. So you'll start seeing stuff that you miss. Because you'll start planning, se te va a hacer mucho, right? You're going to think, oh, this is so much, right? ¿Cuándo voy a hacer esto? And once you start doing it, then it starts getting, oh, I missed this. I can add this now. And you start getting more comfortable using it. And then the same slide you do together. So it's a copy and paste. And then we did groups and they did Venn diagrams, exactly what we did with them, but they did it in groups and they compared two different ecosystems. And they're working together. And then for their you do alone, I wanted them to articulate, be able to put it in a sentence. Their ecosystem that they got, could you write, right? What is different and what is similar from it? And this also helps with the writing and the typing. And then did we meet our goal? Which is the same objective. I just copied it and I pasted it on the last slide. It's a lot, right? When I was planning this presentation, I was like, oh my God, it's bastante. But I hope that you're able to take something back from it. But we're gonna do one together. Don't get freaked out. We're gonna start it off together and I'm gonna pace you through starting it from scratch. It's very, very similar to PowerPoint and very similar to Google Slides. It's just a different platform now, but it has more stuff for you to include. So I know for one of my lessons, I was stuck on, I think it was like author's purpose or theme. And I'm like, I can't find an activity that I like. And I went on Nearpod and they already had a drag and drop for me. So I didn't have to create that one, which was great. So a lot of the times there's already stuff that's there. And then I would use the district stuff and I would look for teachers pay teachers stuff. So we're going to go ahead and go into Nearpod. So let's all log into Nearpod and you should be on this page right here because we're going to create one together. We have, about 20 minutes and we can start creating at least the title slides that will always be copied and pasted. And I'm going to show you how to copy and paste it. So each week you're just using the same, at least the title slides, and then in between you add. So for me, to make it easy for me, my objective was always the drag and drop one, like the fill in the blank. My I do, we do, they do, you do was always the same monito, same text, everything was the same. And that made it easier for me. So once you are here, we're going to go ahead and click create. And you're going to select lesson. So this is where when lesson, you can merge everything together in one. If you click activity, it's just one thing you can do there. And a video, it's just a video on its own. But lesson, you're able to add a video, an activity, a slide, anything that you want. So you want to select lesson. Now, this is all the stuff that you can add on there. I'll go through them. You have slides, slideshow, and it gives you a little like what it is. The PDF, this is where I put the article for the newsletter that the district had given me. I don't use Sway. I don't know how to use it yet. You can upload already slides that you have already pre-made, and then the district had created. You can add them on here. You can upload just one image. You can upload an audio. You can do a video, web content, videos, near the 3D objects. They have a lot here. The VR field trip, I love, and simulation. You can do a quiz. You can do a draw it, which the draw it is the one where I had the main idea and they were able to draw and do text. That was that one. Fill in the blank. This is the objective one that I used. You have a memory test, time to climb, which is kind of like a quizzes. Drag and drop, which is the vocabulary one that I used. Matching pairs, where you can match definitions, kind of like a matching scheme. A collaborate board, that's the one that I used to have them give me the sentence of the compare and contrast. That one I also use it for making predictions. We can use Flipgrid, you can do a poll or an open-ended question. The open-ended question is the one that I used at the end of my lesson for them to answer what was the compare and contrast of both ecosystems. So it's a lot that you can do. We're going to start with create and we're going to start with the slides. So go ahead and go on to create and click slides, and then you're going to click add. Now, it looks very similar to PowerPoint or Google Slides. You have pre-made themes that you can already go with that you don't have to like this one that's a notebook, that you don't have to really look for other things, but you can make it, it's creativity, right? You make it what you want or what you need. So for example, this was my Monday slide. I'm starting off Monday. I would put Monday. I am going to here copy it right here because I don't like that font. I want a different font. I want it bigger. You fix it up, right? You click the 3 dots up here, and then you select the font that you want and as big as you want it. You can scroll down, make it really big. You can even make it bold. You can underline it, whatever you like, right? And Monday, I usually just put like a little GIF for them to start off. So I'm going to delete this because I'm not adding any text to this slide. This is like my introduction slide, which just says Monday. That way I know when my day cuts off. And then I go ahead and I'm going to trash this. I'm going to add an image, which is the GIF that's going to say Monday. I click on images, add an image, and you're actually able to drag an image that you already have, which is where I add the snips of my anchor charts, or you can search on Google already for some things, which is just right here in this search bar. And you could put Monday, and the way to make it move, I put GIF, G-I-F, and they have so many. And you just pick one, like this one, Monday mood. And I would do funny ones for my kids. Right, everybody on a Monday. You're just, And I would use the same GIF every Monday. You can change it around and look for different ones each week, but if you want to just copy and paste it for the next week, then it's way easier. And then for your background, you can do a background color, and you have a selection here of colors. Or you can select, like I had in the one that I showed you, I had the little like leaves. So I would just do background image, and then I would put presentation border. Because I wanted it just to be in the border. I didn't want a whole image. And then they have so many. And some of them are blurry, and some of them have like the little squares in the background. So you kind of have to pick and choose which one looks best for your presentation. Just the first one, click save. See, like this one's blurry. So it's just you going back and forth. Sometimes when I was like, I didn't plan that well, and I didn't have time to select a background, I would literally just put a background color, and it was fine. And I did Monday all red, Tuesday all yellow. So it just depends, right? Now, after you're done with that, you can copy and paste this and then just change it Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So you would select the 3 dots up here. It takes a while to load the side ones. You click copy, and then you right click on this blank empty space and put paste. So now you have 2 Mondays, but you were going to change it because now this one would be Tuesday. And I would change the background because my Tuesdays, I'm going to do them yellow.
Yeah.
Yes.
How do you copy the second one? Sorry, I didn't see it.
This one, you click the 3 dots and click copy.
Okay, thank you.
And then on this white space right here, you click right click and put paste. You can also click duplicate. Duplicate will automatically copy and paste it. If you click it, I click duplicate, it's there. I don't have to put copy, I don't have to put paste. And then this is easy for you to move around. So let's say you've done all of Mondays, pero se quedó Tuesday aquí arriba, and you're like, wait, Tuesday's all the way at the bottom. So you can just grab it. It has a little manita that's like this. You see it on the screen, and you just drag it to wherever you need it. I'm going to delete this one because I copied it twice. delete. Okay, so this is Tuesday. Now you would change the GIF as well, right? Because it's Tuesday. So I clicked it and then just click the delete button. And we're gonna add a new picture. So images, add an image. Tuesday GIF. This one's cute, a little doggy. There we go, Tuesday. And I did that for each day of the week. I did that first. Now that's the first time you do it. When you start already creating more, it's gonna get easier because you already have a lot of this stuff done. So we're on Monday. Let's do an objective. So we're gonna go ahead and put add new up here. Now it's no longer gonna be a slide, so I'm not gonna copy and paste. I'm now gonna do a fill in the blank for my objective. So we click the add new, and we're gonna look for quizzes and games right here. And we're gonna click on fill in the blank, and you have to click add. Click add. This is what I mean by it's super easy because you just type it. So you type what your objective is. For example, today we will learn how to use Nearpod for a gradual release lesson. You select your text style. You want it green, red, blue. And then once you're done selecting or typing whatever objective you want, which sometimes the district already gives it to you, so you can just go to their page, copy, and then paste it here. Right? So it's easy as well like that, or you can create your own objective. And then we click next. Now, when you click next, this is where you're going to start deleting words that the kids are able to drag and drop per fill in the blank. So then you click next. And then we go ahead and say, okay, I want to take off learn. I want to take off Nearpod. And I want to take off Gradual. So when you select them, they move on to the left. And those are the ones that they're going to have at the bottom as a word bank. And then you're done. That's it. Now, I'm going to use the same one for Tuesday. I'm going to do the exact same thing, right? I'm going to duplicate it. You can copy and paste. So here, copy. And then again, paste. Now you see how it's off order now. We're going to drag it down to Tuesdays. So I'm going to drag it down and put it here. Now it's not the same objective, right? We're doing something else on Tuesday. Let's say we're working with, I don't know, Google Slides now. So you click on the one you want, make sure you're on the one for Tuesday, because this would be Monday, this would be Tuesday. You would click this back button. This back button is going to take you back to where you were typing, and you're going to change your objective. So I'm going to click back over here at the top, because I'm going to fix it. It's a new objective, it's a new day. If you go back, you will lose your word bank. Continue, yes, because I'm adding a new objective. Now I'm back in the typing. And then today we will learn how to use Google Slides. All I did was change that. And then I clicked next. You can absolutely delete all of this and start a new objective. I just tweaked it because I'm doing almost the same thing, and I'm just going to tweak a little bit of my objective. And then I'm clicking next. And again, you select the words that you want to take off. So today, Google, lesson. Those are the words that I want. And it automatically saves. Like it's already all saved on here, which you've already done. Now we're going to go ahead and let's start doing an I do, we do, you do. Because again, those are things that you're going to copy and paste. So things that you're going to use each week to make it easier. I'm going to add new. This is going to be a title slide because it's just what it's when it says I do and the little picture of the teacher. So it's a slide. So I'm going to click slide. And remember, you have to click add at the bottom. If you don't click add, you'll just be stuck here. Like you can't double tap it. You have to click the add. You click add. And then you're going to start here. I do. And you can change the font. Make it nicer. Make it bold. Make it bigger. Again, I'm not writing anything. So I'm going to delete this. Because I'm just going to put a little picture. So now here I'm going to put a picture of a teacher because I do is the teacher alone. I'm going to click images. Add an image. Teacher. Now I do clip art because if you don't select clip art, then it's like an actual picture of an actual like human, an actual person. So I like putting clip art because it's like cartoony. You can click this one. You can click whichever one that you like. You save it. Make it bigger. So kind of like PowerPoint, right? You're fixing up your slides. And then this is for Monday. So we said if that was going to be red, I'm going to change the background color to red. And then I'm going to use the same I do for Tuesday. So I'm going to go ahead and copy and paste it. So I can drag it over here. So let's do 3 dots, copy, and paste. Now you have 2 in the wrong order. We got to drag it. So we can drag it down over here. So this is, you're building your skeleton, right? Like what you're going to use every week to make it easier for you. Now you could also easily use the same Monday one because you already had everything. You could have copied it, pasted it, and then changed Monday to I do, to we do, to they do. And you start adding them on here. Now I'm going to show you how to do, let's say, an anchor chart, right? That you're going to pick. You're going to do an anchor chart that week. You just want to show it. The kids are not going to work on it. It's just for you to show it. They're just going to, you're putting it as a picture pretty much. So again, you're going to go to add new, which you don't have to. You can just copy and paste it and change the name of the, change the title. So you can click here, copy, paste, and we're going to change it. So instead of I do, I'm going to put, for example, I'm doing main idea. That's going to be our I do. We're going to do an anchor chart of main idea. So we changed it. Now I don't need this picture. What I actually need here is the anchor chart of main idea. So we're going to delete this picture of the teacher because we don't need it. It's a lot of copy and paste that we don't have to redo or work from scratch. And you're going to go ahead and delete it. Now this is where you go to your district website, Teachers Pay Teachers, or anywhere that you want to find your main idea anchor chart, whichever one you're going to use. So I'm going to Google one. Main idea anchor chart. I'm going to go to images. I'm going to select one that I like. Maybe it's this one. Maybe it's this one. Whichever one you want. Okay. And I'm going to save this image because it's from Google. If you have one already, you can snip it and save it. So I'm going to click here. I'm going to click save image as because I'm going to save it to a folder or your OneDrive or wherever you want to save it. Okay. So I'm going to save it to my downloads. For me, I'm just doing that right now. But you can select whichever folder you want. Like I said, I would create folders from the story names. So ecosystems would have all the snippets of what I was using, or main idea, and this is all my snippets. I'm almost done, I promise. I have 4 more minutes. So then we start going to images, because we're gonna add that snippet that we got, or that image. Add image. Now this time we're not gonna search on Google. We are going to drag and drop it on here, or you can select this little arrow going up. That means that you're going to get it from your files. So you click that, you look for the main idea one that you got, you select it, you open it, and there it is. Now this is what the kids and you would do in your journal together. And you're showing it. I have 3 minutes left, but I hope that you learned something, and I hope that you can take back something from here. If you have any questions on how to use it, how to move it around, or you want me to explain it to you again via Teams, please send me a message. I am glad to help. I can show you again how to do it. I do not mind. Now I am going to post the, I think Sanaida already posted it, the survey link. Sanaida already posted the survey link. And like I said, if you need anything else, I hope I know it was fast, it was a lot of information, but I hope you got something back from today. Any questions?
I have a
Don't
question.
forget to save it.
Can I ask something really quick?
Yes.
I want to ask, unlike Google Slides, where, once we create the main slide, we send it off to the kids, and then if we decide to add something, it adds to us, but it doesn't add to them.
Yes.
This is different then. It'll continue adding for everybody?
Yes, so it's yours. So you, for example, let's see, I'm saving and exiting this. Am I still sharing my screen? Yes. I'm saving and exiting this, right? So now it's here on my thing, right? Now I can edit it whenever I want. However, the kids would have to log in with a new code.
Oh, I see.
But it doesn't affect them in any way. It's just a different code every day. Now,
their work wouldn't be lost.
No, their work is not lost. So you're able to see here, reports. You click reports and you're able to see each lesson. Like here I only have one session, but if you're fixing it every day, you would have, let's say, a session for Monday, a session for Tuesday, a session for Wednesday, right? And here you can see everything that they did. If you click on it, you're able to, it saves everything they drew, everything they answered. It saves it for you and gives you a report. So the only thing is that it would give them a different code, but you can still add to it at the end of the day or at the end of the week or in a month or a year, and it would add to it. So see, I can see everything. And I can click on the student and I can see incomplete, no answer, no answer.
Yeah. And the new code is given to us once we add or edit the slides in any way?
Yeah, so once, let's say this one, for example, look, this one we did it together right now. It's the gradual release one that I showed you. I'm gonna do another live participation and it'll tell you here, look, you already had this one launched, right? Do you wanna continue using that one or do you want a new one? So I want to use the same code. Oh no, I want a new one. So you launch new live. That's where it would come out.
Awesome.
And I would usually put it on the board in the back, and then the kids already knew. Like it wasn't, oh, it's a new one, guys. Okay, erase the board, add a new one for the day.